WNBA's two best teams since we returned to action. And this offense in the WNBA out of the Olympic break. Kelsey Mitchell has been the leading scorer in the Eastern Conference out of the Olympic break. Here's Hull on the drive, floats it up and floats it in.
And she's really come alive since that break. I think one thing about Lexi Hull is she has a way of playing to her strengths. And you see it a lot on the defensive end, but her scoring has made her an elite player on the team.
Collier can't handle that pass. Minnesota turns it over here on their first offense.
So we'll see a lot of that, but just kind of taking a little pill of her own medicine.
Here's Kelsey Mitchell, who's been red hot, misses her first shot here tonight. Mitchell set a franchise record with 7 straight 20-point games. That came to an end on Wednesday. She was right there, though, with 18. Clark looking ahead and finds Boston.
Yeah, that's got to be a part of the scouting report. Pick up Clark as soon as the ball goes to the bucket. You have to be able to see her at all times, and what a great way for Leah Boston there to just go to the basket, put her head down and run.
Atlanta Smith, Courtney Williams playing catch. Williams launches and misses. Clark off to the races here once again for Indiana. Fresh off that triple-double 2 nights ago. Clark working on Williams. Handoff Boston. Here is Clark. Clark with that float shot. Bank shot too strong. It's been an area of her game that she's been working on, that floater.
Yeah, it's going to be a great offseason, and just kind of seeing where her weaknesses are to really step up her game, which could be pretty dangerous in the years to come.
There have been 2 rookie triple-doubles of all time, and Caitlin Clark has both of them. They both come in this building here, of course, this season. Mitchell looking inside. Boston has the size advantage. Mitchell launches. She's missed her first 2 shots here tonight. Minnesota with the 4th-ranked offense in the WNBA, and they've been playing well out of the Olympic break too, as Napheesa Collier can't finish inside, but there is a foul.
Her specifically for her footwork, but I feel like this year's come alive, not only with her shot, but just kind of doing all the little things right. She's becoming an excellent passer as well.
Napheesa Collier, 4th in the MVP voting a year ago, seemed destined to finish even higher here this season. Perhaps the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year. You see those 2 teams with the best records here out of the Olympic break. Indiana has been red hot at home. They've won 10 of their last 11 as Clark launches and misses on a 3. Smith with the offensive rebound, tried the reverse. Blocked, but a foul called on Atlanta Smith.
To the next level is everybody playing their role. And Alyssa Smith, who hasn't been as much of a scoring threat this season, has just kind of found her groove and what role she needs to play, which isn't always easy for a player. Whatever level you go, whatever situation, you have to be able to adapt to your teammates, adapt to your coaches, and here even adapt within the season.
She misses the 2 free throws there, but Christy Sides lauded her for just that, her adaptability. Smith has been in double figures in each of her last 4 games. Smith catch and shoot and knocks down a 3.
Beautiful ball movement there, kind of probing the defense by Williams to really free up. And you have to be able to put a hand up on all 5 of these Lynx players, because all of them have the ability to shoot the ball well.
Lynx defend the perimeter better than any team in the WNBA. This is Mitchell inside of it. That shot rims out. Lexi Hull with an offensive rebound. Mitchell and Clark have opened up 0 for 5 tonight, so Mitchell puts it on the deck. Kick out to Alyssa Smith. She can't connect on a 3. There's Lexi Hull with another offensive rebound. She's got a couple of them here in the early going, and Boston with a massive size advantage and takes advantage.
Poise. Poise is the name of Leah Boston's game. What a great way. She recognized the mismatch that cat in the house, mouse in the house. It really took advantage there down low.
Collier got deep position. Boston had to foul her.
It's a good job recognizing the help side as well.
Oh, Collier met at the rim by Lexi Hull, and a late whistle comes in. That looked...
Especially with the block on the caliber player as Fee there. Just Collier has a great way of going to the basket, and also a great way of finding the free throw line. And here, Lexi Hull would have really treasured that block on her.
So Collier knocks down the free throw. She's got all 4 of her points here from the line, and Minnesota with a 1-point lead here early from Indianapolis. Here's Kelsey Mitchell, catch and shoot, knocks down her first 3.
One thing about Kelsey Mitchell, it doesn't matter how she starts. She never sees a shot she does not like. She's going to put that thing up, and being able to shoot it with confidence is the key. She already knows she's done the work.
Fever shooters and the Minnesota perimeter defense will be the storyline to watch here tonight as Collier knocks down her first shot of the evening. This Fever backcourt has been the best in the WNBA here out of the break, and nobody defends it better than Minnesota. There's Mitchell, head full of steam, little scoop shots.
This is when the scouting report comes so important. Kelsey Mitchell is a left-handed player. She loves going downhill first from the left side.
Williams, quick trigger, shot won't fall. Clark looking ahead, feet inside Boston, and there's a foul on Collier. It's her first.
Hard to recover.
Boston deep position once again. In Minnesota, they go a little bit smaller. They play Collier, who's kind of a 4 at the 5, and Indiana trying to take advantage of that. Williams weaves her way inside, but Collier more than capable of defending bigger than her size. And once again, it's Clark ahead to Boston, who's got an early 8.
And you said it best. Playing that small ball does have its advantages. It's pretty quicker than the team. But right now, the tempo that the Fever are playing with, it almost looks like they're the one. But being able to go and run the floor as soon as the ball goes off their hands, such a great technique.
McBride, one of the top 3-point shooters in the WNBA, answers with a 3. Pace is going to be something to watch here tonight. Minnesota plays the second slowest brand of basketball. Fever out of the break have been the second quickest in terms of pace of play. They want to get up and down. Here's Clark, catch and shoot. There's a whistle. It will not count. And a moving screen on Aliyah Boston. Fever with a 3-point lead here midway through the...
2 teams meet in the first round of the playoffs, and it plays out like that. She said this will be the game you go back and watch to prepare for it.
Kelsey, thank you. And yes, very possible this is a playoff preview. 2 teams have split the season series, a game apiece here so far. Both games were in Minnesota. There are turnovers here out of the timeout. McBride is open and misses on a 3. There to clean up is Nafisa Collier.
And she does that so well. She doesn't give up on the play. And she just has such a way of knowing where the ball is going to come off every single time.
Well, too strong on that 3. Indiana had hit their last 5 shots. Williams crossing up Hull, and from the mid-range, Hull might have got a piece of that. Good recovery there. And Lexi Hull, that's Indiana's top wing defender. Really turn it over a little sloppy there from Kelsey Mitchell.
3-point shooter, but she can also put the ball on the floor. So I think that was a great transition break, and they want to stay with that tempo, maybe even tire the Fever out a little bit.
Clark working on Natisha Heidemann, who's just checked in. She's a good defender, too. And Clark, that was not easy, but got it to go.
Yeah, looked a little shaky there, but being able to go and stay with it. If the defense knocks it around a little bit, stay poised, stay confident in your handle, and get to that sweet spot.
Heidemann on the drive. Lexi Hull, wow, she has just been everywhere defensively here so far.
Look at the defense, just right back that they put on her has been everything all season.
Clark shot faking the 3, driving on. Heidemann leads in, flips it up, and draws the foul. Clark frustrated with herself that the shot didn't fall, but she'll head to the free throw line. Heidemann, a really good acquisition for the Lynx in the off.
Perfection. She stays in it, but she is one that can definitely get out of it mentally. But as the season has progressed, I think she's gotten better with that and just kind of stayed confident within her teammates and within herself as well. But you see the hesitation before the shot. That was absolutely impressive. That step back has been her bread and butter, so you have to respect it. A nice little step back is going to get her exactly where she needs to go every single time.
She played the full 40 minutes on Wednesday. Has not checked out of the game here so far tonight. She is second in the WNBA in most minutes played. McBride trying to shake off Mitchell. Cross-court pass. That is a deep 3 from Carlton. Not too strong. Hull has the rebound for Indiana. Minnesota shooting just 29% here in the first quarter. Clark looking aggressive. Clark launches and hits a 3.
I mean, it's just like clockwork, you know, at this point. I mean, it is a completely difficult shot. She just gets it and she's able to drill. That's how you get it back. You have to be able to come back on defense ready to go, and nothing easy.
Clark pushing the pace on the other end. That three won't fall. Even off a made bucket. Caitlin Clark and his Fever offense have been really picking up the pace as Heidemann steps into a three and can't connect. And here is Clark off to the races. It's a 2-on-1. She'll bounce for Mitchell. Mitchell got it to go, and a foul.
It's one way to do it. Get the crowd excited. Get in there, hit the threes, get the ball back. A 180. I think they both respect each other as players. I think they both want the same thing as far as success, and I think they both want to see each other do really, really well, which makes it so easy for them to cheer for each other. So if you have a partner in crime, you want to be able to utilize that, and I think that's exactly what we see here.
Oh, look at Lexi Hull coming up with another steal, splits the double team, but Hull denied at the rim. Carleton gets back defensively. Here's Temi Fagbenle back in the game. As Mitchell catch and shoot. Too strong on a three. Fagbenle with the offensive rebound and the putback. Well, Fagbenle's been hurt a lot this year. Suffered her third different injury. Did not play on Wednesday. Packing an early punch here for the Fever.
Yeah, just another energy player that, again, the Fever desperately need in terms of maybe not all the points, but getting in there and doing the dirty work.
There's Heidemann. The hesitation goes behind the back to Collier. Extra pass, and Lassini knocks down a three.
And you talk about a rhythm shot there. I mean, just a nice 1-2 into it, high release. And it's not always tough, especially when you first check into the game. You want to get that blood flowing a little bit, but being able to come back and hit your first shot, it's impressive.
Clark sets up Dantas. Can't answer with a triple of her own. Clark with 7 points, 3 assists here in the first quarter. Cambridge Fieldhouse on Ion alongside Kelsey Casper and Bria Goss. I'm Pat Boylan. Collier off the mark on a three. And about a 5-second differential game clock and shot clock. There's Maisha Hines-Allen checking in. This is her 7th game with Minnesota. Was traded for at the trade deadline. Really a savvy move by Cheryl Reed. Pick up the former All-WNBA player. She comes off the bench. They got her for a 2nd-round pick. The Lynx bulking up here before the playoffs. Letting a little clock tick away. Drugs off Heidemann. Here is Mitchell. And Lassini sticking with her. Mitchell got a goal here. That's a difficult look. Both battling inside. In fact, Bentley got a hand on it. And that'll take us through the first quarter. 7-point first quarter as that offense continuing to shine here out of the Olympic break. It's one of the top defenses in the league as Collier forces her way inside and muscles it home. Collier with an early 10 points. She leads all scores. Probably right now the favorite for 2nd in the MVP race. Asia Wilson has the MVP all but locked up, but Collier has had an MVP-esque season. Clark crossing over, kick back. Here's a fact. Bentley three. The Minnesota team that has not played since Sunday, so they are well rested. And Lassini, 2 for 2 from out there.
Pat, it's so important when you have those breaks, whether that's timeout, in between quarters, in between halves, to come out with the exact same energy. And especially, that's one way to do it. Caitlin Clark with another deep three. Do you ever get tired of saying that?
I don't think so. I don't think anybody gets tired of seeing it. Unless, I guess, if you're the opponent. But Clark with a couple of threes here.
Really just make it extremely difficult for not just Clark, but all Fever players to score.
Heidemann attacking Clark and rolls it in. Shooter's touch. Natisha Heidemann. Your pro out of Marquette. Mid-second rounder who's really found a spot in the WNBA. It's Clark just weaving her way inside through traffic and got it to go.
She's becoming quite the transition player. I mean, not only with her passing, but also with her scoring. And got it, that floater.
And Dorka Juhas knocks down the and one. Minnesota's bench really playing well here in the first half. They've got 13 of their 29 from their 2nd units. Diana's bench. In fact, Bentley has the only 2. Because the offense has been really strong here tonight. And lately, that time, Indiana turns it over. Turnovers a problem on Wednesday despite the win over Los Angeles. They've turned it over just 3 times here tonight. A much better number as Boston is back in. She had the early 2 fouls.
I think that was a huge difference from this year to last year as well. She couldn't quite stay out of foul trouble. She wants to play aggressively, and just you have to be able to adjust. And I think she has adjusted to the refs and how they call the game.
Hines Allen, aggressive take. Shot won't fall, but Hines Allen, she is a monster on the glass with the putback. And Hines Allen, their first scoring here tonight. They've got a really deep group in Minnesota. They're showing off that depth here so far. Wheeler just blows by Collier and lays it in.
I love when Wheeler gets in and probes the defense. You never really know what she's going to do. And just being able to come in from the bench and automatically be a scoring threat is exactly what she needs to be.
Collier extra pass. And there's Hines Allen again. Having a lot of success on the offensive glass.
We've seen that time and time again. If you don't pick up Erica Wheeler, she's going to make you pay every time.
Erica Wheeler joking around on social media. She was drug tested for the 3rd time this season, saying, look, I might be 33, but I'm still young and spry enough.
Wow.
Maybe catching the attention.
3 times. I hope it's not like the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning thing that they did in college. Never fun.
Here's Lexi Hull on the drive back here for Erica Wheeler. Hull and Wheeler playing catch. Wheeler had an open 3. Now she'll take it and knock it down.
Oh, she's just having fun. That's what that was. She was just having fun, just making sure, hey, I'm wide open. Let me give a pass fake here, 2 here or there. A way to knock it down, no hesitation.
Collier drawing the foul there. That one was on the floor. Lexi Hull trying
to the next generation and just doing her part, not only as a leader on the fever, but off the court as well.
I've said this, Erica Wheeler and Lynn Dunn are 2 people that I will never at any point in my life be able to match the energy of.
Yeah, you got to come with it any time of the day, all hours, and that's hard to do, especially when they have bad days too. So you got to give them a whole bunch of credit.
Wheeler has been an important leader here for this young group this season. Xander Lassini off to a nice start. He's got 8 points. Wheeler working on Uhas. Feeds Boston, who will launch and miss on a 3-ball. And a little out of sorts on that possession offensively. And Hines Allen staying aggressive here. And she has been a problem. Really, this entire bench has for Minnesota. The WNBA Friday Night Spotlight.
It's the fact that they've decided to play together as a team. They just kind of do what works and play how they want to play.
This Minnesota bench has been really impressive here in the first half. 19 of their 35, more than half of their points have come off the bench. Hines Allen had a lot of depth. This already deep Minnesota team really just enjoying a banner year. 24-9. They've already won 5 more games than a year ago. And struggling to control it here as Clark had it knocked right into Mitchell. Extra pass. Smith can't connect.
Such tough defense. I like the Lynx were everywhere. But one thing that made that special is that they were moving, not when the person had the ball, but when the ball was in the air.
Hines Allen walled off there by Boston. Extra pass. McBride catch and shoot. Can't knock down the 3. And Boston playing with the 2 fouls, so she's got to be careful out there. She was so impactful early. Clark the hesitation. Clark the floater.
There it is. They're seeing it more and more. That, I mean, I don't know if she listens to the media or she, hears the halftime reports, whatever the case may be. But that has been a concern in her game, and she's just trying to show everybody what she can do. And that's pretty much it.
It's amazing how quickly that's become a part of her arsenal. Wasn't really coming into her first professional season, and that float game has been really strong. Clark going behind the back, bounce pass, Mitchell into traffic, shot too strong. Smith can't clean up. Offensive rebound and whirls that one in.
It is so loud in here. It's those plays, and again, we love the speed passes, and we love the deep threes. but the hustle is really what's making this team so special and just being able to play together.
McBride can't scoop it in, and then Smith gives it away, and Cecilia Zandalicini gives it right back.
Hands into the game, and doing the little things is a great way to start.
Looks like we might have had a clock error. It's Jeff Wooten, one of your 3 officials here tonight. Angelica Suffren and Mary Williams. The other 2, Marcy Williams, excuse me. We'll put 2:10 on the game clock and reset the shot clock to 21, so a few seconds had wound down. With 14 points in the first half, she leads all scores. Zandalicini is called for what is essentially a freedom of movement foul. This has been something the WNBA has been tightening up a little bit. These freedom of movement rules.
That's tough. That makes it tough on the defense, because one thing that they teach us, especially at a young age, and just starting to play basketball, is just make sure that the player doesn't cut your face, which basically means cut in front of you. So that's tough.
That's from way downtown. Clark couldn't connect. Zandalicini, nice pass, but too far underneath and stepped on the baseline. Teams are taking really good care of the ball here in the first half. It's been a really well-played game. Minnesota probably feels like they've missed some shots that they normally hit, but just 4 turnovers for the Lynx, just 3 for Indiana. Allen, also a really good perimeter defender. She's really versatile. Mark on the shot fake into a double team, lofts it up for Boston.
Just another connection there. Looked like she was going to go ahead and pass it to the strong side. She turned around, just knowing where her teammate was at. Great positioning there by AB.
Carol Reeve will take a timeout, and this is where Clark is at her best. NBA out of the Olympic break. A couple of playoff teams that are trying to lock down their seeding. Now this is the 3-6 matchup. Minnesota could still get realistically as high as 2. Indiana 5 not out of the question. Haas launches and misses on a 3. There's Carlton with the offensive rebound. Williams sets up Collier, who's open, and that one rattles out.
It's a great offensive possession. Sometimes it's not always about the miss or the makes. It's just, is it the right shot?
Oh, Boston deep position, but blocked at the rim by Nafisa Collier, who's maybe the favorite down on the rest of the field. But Collier's having a terrific season offensively. Worth noting, Mitchell is 8th, Clark is 9th, so this game does have 3 of the top 10 scores in the WNBA, as Nafisa Collier heading back here to the foul line, where she is 4 of 4. Collier 10 points and 6 rebounds. And coming up in our next game, it's a rookie showdown when Rakia Jackson and the Sparks take on Angel Reese and the Sky. WNBA on ION Friday nights all season long. This rookie class has been one of the best in history. I think it will go down as that very clearly. Mitchell on the handoff from Boston, and Hines Allen called for the foul. She thought she got all ball there. Her face says it all.
Yeah, but I think you hit it. The team to start things back up again. It's the first time they're going to the playoffs in quite a while. There's a lot of excitement. It's really easy to get caught up in just being satisfied, and I don't think that's what this team is doing. I think they're trying to see exactly where they can get if they just continue to be themselves.
I think you've got a couple of favorites for Coach of the Year in this building too. Look at Hines Allen. Doing a tightrope over there. That was some impressive balance.
Yeah, it was. It was. And that was tough, and especially when everybody's looking like that. That was great that she kept that together.
Carlton back for Williams. Offensive foul on Minnesota. Well, the Lynx have 24 wins. They won 19 a year ago, so they're already 5 over last year's total. Still with 7 to play for Minnesota. Indiana also +5, 13 a year ago. In fact, if Indiana were to win tonight, they would have 1 more win this year than each of the last 2 years combined. So look at Mitchell. Clark playing catch. And Clark cashes in on a 3.
Yeah, that was cool. They had their little moment there too. We'll probably see that in the snapshot, but just kind of the execution right now for the Fever. Again, it's not always about the mix or the makes. It's just about the right play, and what a great answer there by Fee to silence the crowd.
Now Collier now with 14, and Clark and Smith not on the same page.
It's going to be difficult because they both have the ability to also go to the basket.
Collier battling inside Lexi Hull. Aaliyah Boston there as Williams on the drive, off balance. Shot skips out. It seems like Minnesota has had an inordinate amount of shots halfway down, rim out.
Maybe even try to step it up on the defensive end as well, especially when those shots aren't falling.
Clark crossing over. Angling there into the corner. Good defense there by Carlton. Shot clock down to 5. Boston trying to create with the shot clock low, and Boston will.
And if you don't send multiple bodies at Boston, it's almost like she sees that green light, especially when she buries the defender underneath the basket. You got to be able to know where she's at and get ready for that spin move.
Finds Allen, skip past Carlton, and Mitchell just runs into her.
Wasn't the best, but she's been able to really buckle down since then and really hit the floor and do everything that she needs to do.
So Bridget Carlton, a 73% foul shooter, 6-year pro out of Iowa State, knocking down the pair. The Lynx were in the bonus. That was Indiana's 7th foul of the quarter. Have not trailed since the midway point of the first. Clark's gotten it going, Kelsey Mitchell too, and they've just been able to keep the Lynx kind of at an arm's length here so far. Lynx did have a foul to give. The team's now into the bonus. Clark fading, firing, shot too strong. That may be your toughest look of the night. 6 of 12 from the field, 17 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Put her on that initial early triple-double watch here again. Back for Collier. That pass was deflected into the hands of Hines Allen. Wrap around pass to Carlton. Oh, that was pretty.
That was beautiful. That was an extremely difficult pass there. Here's the tempo that we've been talking about, just trying to get it back. But that was an extremely difficult pass.
It has been a challenging and emotional year for Kelsey Mitchell, who lost her father just before the season. Adjusting to a very new roster on the fly, and she is shining here in the second half of the season. Alana Smith lines up and knocks down a 3, and Minnesota bridging the second and third quarters with an 8-0 run. They're back within 2.
I think that's going to be really big key for the Lynx. How can they come out in this first 4 minutes and really just put a statement on how the rest of the game is going to go?
Indiana has not trailed since the midway point of the first quarter. Minnesota threatening here to open up the third. Boston backing her way in, flips it up, just beat the shot clock. But look at Alyssa Smith down there battling, just came down with the ball. And you can come down with the ball in the WNBA, that's not traveling. The jump ball is the call. Let's listen.
So going down and getting that ball, she was a little upset she didn't get the call, but that was a great job getting this jump ball here for the play.
Biggs playing catch underneath. Smith muscling her way in. Good defense there by Alana Smith. Minnesota can tie or take the lead here. Pick up some of that momentum they went into halftime with. Smith launches. 3 ball off the mark. It's been another really good year here for Alana Smith. Broke out last season in Chicago. He's taken that another step forward. Boston spinning into a double, just flips it up. The shot is short. Boston knocked it out of bounds. And I think she got hit with a technical. This is a veteran, a tested group. They'll head into the playoffs with a ton of experience. It'll be brand new for a lot of the Fever players. McBride misses on the foul shot, but that experience, it comes into play late in games, late in seasons. These games get a little bit more important. Fever have really passed a lot of those late game tests here so far, but they're going to continue to get more difficult.
Yes, and they have been tested all season long, but it looks like they've had an answer to all these tests as well. Even if they don't come up with the win, they're just getting a little bit more and more comfortable with each other.
Here's Smith rolling and finishing on the 5 from Courtney Williams. And a 10-0 run here for the Lynx And we are level at 50 apiece. The Fever scoreless here in the opening couple minutes of the third. Clark trying to change that. Bryant sticking right with her, step for step. Indiana maybe getting caught up just a little bit in the officiating here. Williams pulling up from the mid-range. That's a tough look. Gets her offensive rebound. And through the wickets, the land of Smith.
And look at this ball. Just let the plays happen. But again, the momentum is so important to swing which way.
Clark trying to swing it back the direction of Indiana. Clark stepping back, fading, firing. Too strong. She's hit a couple of those shots here today, but they are forcing her into some tough looks. As they whip it inside, Smith couldn't handle it. Right into the hands of Williams. And Minnesota in front for the first time since the midway points of the first quarter. It's a 12-0 run and a Courtney Williams buckets as the Lynx in the month of September. Playoff matchups on the line. Boston threw a triple team, lost the handle, had it knocked away. This Minnesota defense has been smothering. The Fever have gone 4 minutes now without a made field goal. Carlton off balance splashes it home. It's a 14-0 run.
Man, it's really like the defense has come alive, which makes it really good for offensive shots to get that momentum going. And it's so smart to keep the momentum with plays just like that.
Collier able to handle that pass. Minnesota turns it over. But their defense has really ratcheted up the level of the Lynx.
Man, what a great stop and pop here. It looked like she was going to go all the way and really being able to read the defense, who Lexi was an excellent defender, so just coming up and having that call.
Mitchell trying to get Indiana going, and she will with a three ball. Kelsey Mitchell, her second three here of the evening. She's got 13. Mitchell is averaging 26 points per game out of the Olympic break. On her averages here tonight. Williams feeds inside. Smith had it knocked away. Lexi Hull, another steal. Hull off to the races. Mitchell looking aggressive. Mitchell going behind the back, stepping back into a deep two. That's a tough look. We don't mind Kelsey Mitchell's confidence. She has been on a red-hot streak, but people feel like they probably could have got a better look out of their possession. Collier straight away, knocks down a three.
Yeah, and that's why right here. It was a bit of a heat check, which if it goes, it's great. If it doesn't, you got to get back on defense and really see if you can make a play. But again, silencing the crowd after what looked like a really big three of the second half.
Boston on the drive, gets inside and banks it home. So Aliyah Boston, her first scoring here in the second half. She's got 14. It really has been that trio of Boston, Mitchell, and Clark. She's carried Indiana offensively. Here's Clark. She's got numbers. It's a 4-on-3. Clark right up the middle and draws the foul.
Excellent defender as well. Just being able to move from side to side. So that's not easy by any means, but coming back, Boston just makes it look so flawless.
Clark now with 19 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. He had a triple-double in this building less than 48 hours ago. Keeps at this pace. She's got another shot here tonight. A lot more on the line than that. Minnesota battling for number 2. Fever trying to hold down number 6, and they lose Alana Smith underneath.
And it's almost like the Lynx, their offense became so much more complex. But I think the Fever are just losing their players. They're not talking, and they're not moving with a purpose.
Mitchell step back on a deep 2. Making a couple of those, of course, more than capable. These are contested, deep 2-point shots from Mitchell that we've seen in the third. As Collier working on Boston, and then Holt comes in and had to foul her. A 78% free throw shooter and rolls the first one in. Tomorrow night, the Kansas City Current host the Utah Royals, and then the battle between Bay FC and Racing Louisville. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock Eastern. It's the National Women's Soccer League on ION Saturday nights all season long. Minnesota with their largest lead here of 4 points. Indiana led for most of the first half, and the Fever give it away way too easily there. Here's Collier going coast to coast and banking it home.
And that's the worst place you want to turn it over, is at that top of the key. It's almost like a straightaway, but they did a good job recovering. His feet made him pay.
Their offense has really been out of sorts since late second quarter. Mitchell trying to create, but everything difficult. And a travel there on Indiana, so back-to-back turnovers. Trying to pick up the intensity defensively. Here's Williams firing it inside. Collier hangs and lays it in. And Nafisa Collier's having quite a quarter. She's got 9 herself here in the third. And Minnesota with an 8-point lead. They have turned the tables here on Indiana. Mitchell gets inside, lost the handle and a turnover.
It happens. Even when something good happens, you can't hang on it for too long. You got to be able to go to the next play.
McBride shot too strong. Well, this is a Minnesota defense that has been the lead all season long. Beaver had their way with it in the first quarter. Clark trying to get Indiana started, and maybe that'll help.
Big time, big shot by a big time player, just to see if they can get that momentum going.
Williams will switch on to Boston.
Momentum, but lining up is something we've seen time and time.
Williams steps into a three and knocks it down. It has been all Lynx here in the third quarter. They are finding that perimeter shots. Courtney Williams, who was 1 of 7 before that one, are stymied there by Carlton. And Boston is fouled, and the sellout crowd giving a sarcastic cheer.
And great find. It's so easy.
23 points in the quarter. Indiana's offense has been out of sync. Clark driving on Carlton. Clark hangs, and Fisa Collier sends her back. Collier with the late help. Minnesota with numbers. Extra pass. Williams shot fakes the three, pulls up, and connects.
And this is really where the Fever have to grow. When one or two things go bad, you got to be able to turn the lead.
As frustrated as I think we have seen Caitlin Clark all season, or at least since the month of May. Foul on the floor going against
how she just does that.
We'll get a brief rest on the bench. Mitchell stepping into a deep 2. That's the third time she's taken a shot here in the third with that foot on the line. One of the league's elite three-point shooters. Collier into a double team, kick back out. Heidemann shot fakes the three. Heidemann gets inside. Look at the ball movement here from the Lynx, and Hines Allen cashes in.
Beautiful ball movement, and it almost looked like the defense was trying to pick up, and they were moving with the purpose there, but the Lynx just made them pay by finding that open person.
Mitchell, the hesitation, flips it to back Bentley. She was open, passes up the shots. Hull steps into a 2. That won't go. Lid on the rim here for Indiana. Boston into a quadruple team. And that loose ball foul for Minnesota has gone from down 11 to up 12. This really feels like a key moment in this game as Collier can't hit that shot. Kind of an inflection point here. Where do the Fever go from here? Are they able to turn things around? Minnesota has been unrelenting. But mostly defensively, and the Fever give it away. This has been a really tough quarter on offense. Hines Allen maybe shuffled her feet. Going to get the foul call.
And the word, this game is about runs, right? Being able to answer through these runs as quickly and as swiftly as possible, at which the Fever have an opportunity to do that here, but there's still so much basketball to be played.
I think the clock started when it shouldn't have. First decides almost nothing has gone wrong here for this group over the last 3 weeks. Except when they played Minnesota. Lynx won by 10 in Minneapolis. Mitchell called for the foul.
And you can't get too caught up on what the refs are or not calling. And then also, they're packing it into the paint. So if they have an inside look, great, take it. If you don't, get it out, move the ball, maybe get it back in there. But I know on that knock down that three.
That'll send Indiana to the line. Originally, they thought Minnesota had a foul to give. That's not the case. So here is Kelsey Mitchell, an 84% free throw shooter. Mitchell with 14 points here on the night, but they have been harder, taking 13 shots to get there. He's 5 of 5 from the line. Minnesota with the shot clock off can play for the last look here of the third.
Fever have to be so solid to see if they can get some of this momentum back into the fourth quarter.
Carlton, handoff Heidemann. Heidemann with 5. Heidemann driving into Bentley off balance, feeds inside. And the vision here of the Minnesota Lynx in the third quarter has really been a sight to behold. Late in shot clocks here with the game.
If you get beat, you got to let that one fly. Or in a situation like this, maybe you have to make it earn in the free throw line, which is also very well earned.
Lynx have now taken 9 more foul shots than the Fever have. And they've got a 12-point lead headed into the fourth.
But also the mama, she does a great job just getting all of her qualities come back and really shine.
Boston seeing 2. That help comes late. Really good defensive sequence there for Minnesota. Mitchell on the drive, the floater, and she gets it to go. Indiana just hoping to hit the reset button here on the second half.
And again, you're going to have runs. You got to be able to capitalize. And starting with your D, shots aren't falling. See if you can make somebody fall.
Well, that high-low for Minnesota, it's been lethal.
I mean, it's almost like they went back and they really talked about that during those timeouts and that halftime. See where you can feed the post a little more.
Clark trying to create, find some space, shot too strong.
And the Lynx are able to punish him.
Oh, corner 3, knocks it down.
The Lynx are able to punish him.
Oh, corner 3, knocks it down.
And you've seen it ever since the break. Lexi Hull has been on absolute fire. Is super confident with her shot. We can attest that we're going to see more of those here in the quarter.
Much better start here to the fourth. And the Fever really looked at any point in the third quarter. They hit just 3 shots in the third. Signs Allen. And watched by Bentley. Collier lines up a 3. It's off the mark. Clark turning on the Jets. Trying to shake Carlton, who stays right with her. She's had a good game defensively. Clark's had a good one offensively, but that time turns it over. Uhas comes up with the steal. Heidemann inside, deep position. Collier misses from inside. And on a second effort, oh, Indiana catching a massive break there. Clark, Mitchell, wide open.
Another 3 more for Kelsey Mitchell. Great job, Caitlin Clark, finding the open teammate.
2 minutes here of the fourth as Carlton tries to answer. Shot too strong. Bentley pulls down the rebound for Indiana. This has been a resilient group all season long. They started the season 1-8. Despite their youth, they have showed some moxie here in clutch game situations. Mitchell putting on the move. Shot off the mark there. Hole skying for the rebound. Kick back Mitchell. We got 2 really good looks at it. Just couldn't knock it down. The backcourt of Mitchell and Clark have combined for 42 points here tonight. Carlton, corner 3. That won't fall. Bentley who's fouled. Lynx have been held to 2 points here in the fourth after that 29-point third quarter. Might have been hounding Caitlin Clark there on the perimeter. Clark on a handoff. Oh, had a moment there. Instead looking inside for Boston. Boston will go to the free throw line. That was some...
Late. The offense is going to make you pay, and that's on both sides.
Via Boston, a 70% free throw shooter. And able to connect on the first. Second-year pro out of South Carolina. Chris decides to really sing your praise, to do whatever is needed of her for this team to win, and at times that's to take a back seat offensively. At times she's needed to put up huge numbers and the intelligence to know which win.
Yep. I mean, just her growth from last year to this year, even college to last year to this year, has been immaculate. Just seeing how she's just becoming the player that we all know.
McBride, extra pass. Williams steps into a three, can't connect. Lid staying on the rim here in the fourth. The Benley battle. Minnesota wins the tip. Williams on a crossover. Williams gets inside, floats it up. Shot too strong. There's Dorka Juhas back for Williams, and Williams won't miss from there.
Those offensive possessions, multiple offensive possessions, are really going to not be in the Fever's favor.
Cole turns the corner. Dangerous pass. And Williams just couldn't handle what would have been a wide open path the other way and what would have likely turned into an easy two. Instead, it'll say Fever basketball here. Boston setting up Clark. ABC.
Beautiful basketball, great execution, momentum swing. They need to get a stop here on defense.
Fever back within three. Caitlin Clark summoning the sellout crowd to their feet. And a foul on the floor there going against Indiana. If it's Cole, it's her fifth. Check in. Cole gets an ovation, but the Fever will have to go without their blue player here for at least a couple of minutes. Smith straight away. Can't hit on a three. Just like that, the Fever with a chance to tie the game here with a three. Clark looking for space, feeds it into Boston. Boston one bounce and lays it in.
That's Fever basketball right there. Nice high pick and roll from Clark.
Lynx couldn't miss in the third quarter. They're struggling to get anything going offensively here in the fourth. Oh, it's Clark with the block. Clark bouncing and turns it over. That angle just not there for Fang Benley. Now it's Minnesota 3-on-2. Williams pulls up, leaves it shorts. Williams launches and hits a three. Big shot, Courtney Williams.
That's beautiful basketball there. Not giving up on the plays and really doing a good job sharing the basketball. I think Fee had a wide open shot as well that she just decided to go ahead and dish the one extra wide open three.
Clark feeding it back for Boston. Inside, Samuelson open from the corner. Can't hit on that three. Minnesota with a little breathing room here. Back up four. Williams trying to pick her spot. Lob it inside. Juhas denial. And Mitchell couldn't handle it. Williams can't connect there. And Clark able to pull down her 8th rebound to go along with 7 assists and 25 points. Clark, skip pass. Samuelson feeds it back to her. This time it's Smith. Smith muscling inside. Mitchell launches and hits a three.
An inside-out is the best three. And you can see Halbert loves that energy there and being able not only from the crowd but from his team.
Williams knocked away by Mitchell, who touched out the three. Had him in on the drive. Bounce pass into the corner. Carlton launches and hits a triple. Big shot after big shot tonight here from Indianapolis.
Big-time players make big-time shots, and we've seen it over and over with Carlton. You got to be able to know where she's at.
Clark, step back. That shot is short, but it's Alyssa Smith battling underneath. Smith hit the deck hard. 14-6 in league-defined clutch games. That's the second-best record in the league. And Collier is called for. Mitchell, step back. Clark able to kick that one away. And really an intelligent play there by Caitlin. It stops the fast break. Clark has 25. Collier has 25. Two all WNBA first-team candidates have shown out here tonight. Smith extra pass. Carlton, big shot, Bridges.
2 in a row there by Carlton. just lining it up, having confidence in herself to make that shot. Her teammates are looking for it.
The silencer from Bridget Carlton. Boston answers with a 2-point shot. The Minnesota lead is 5 here, under 3 minutes to play. Fever have lost just once in this building since June 1st. Smith can't hit the three. Look at Carlton making another impact play. And Williams dialing up a triple.
Another big play. That offensive rebound, extra possessions led to another wide open three.
The lead is now 8. All of a sudden, Minnesota, who couldn't find the bottom of the rim for most of the quarter, have had the 3-ball fall here for Clark. Clark on the fake. Clark leans in, trying to draw the foul. It didn't come. Samuelson pulls down the rebound. Nice job by Heidemann to evade it. Clark back for Samuelson. Hits a three.
Way not to give up on the play there. Just staying through it. Playing through the contact. Having confidence in her teammates to knock down the big shots.
Fever need to stop badly here. Minnesota with a 5-point lead. Heidemann driving on Samuelson. Gets by her. Draws the foul. And Minnesota has turned it on when it's mattered here.
I mean, from every position, they're doing a great job sharing the ball.
In the last 150, and boy, have they answered the bell here after Indiana came storming back. They had the ball down 1. Couldn't get over the hump. Here is Clark, difficult look, leaves it short. In fact, Bentley the rebound. Cole gets it back for Clark. Boston thought about the three. She'll hoist, leaves it short. Wow, this one really turned in a hurry.
Yeah, it did. And I think you had to really zone in on the Lynx defense. They really got Indiana rattled in that third quarter, and they just made them pay bucket after bucket.
Carlton started all of this, and she's trying to end it. Bridget Carlton, her third three of the fourth quarter. And how about this Lynx offense, which has come back to life when they barely had a pulse. Bentley back for Hall, who answers with a three. Indiana just barely has a pulse of their own. 8-point game with under a minute left to play. They need to force turnovers. Williams running into a double team. Dangerous pass. Hole nearly took it away, but she's called for a foul. The playoffs, Connecticut right now a 4-point lead, so that's an important one. If Connecticut wins, they will still, Minnesota, be in third. They are tied with the Sun, but the Sun had the tie break. Indiana trying to hold on to 6. Here's Mitchell running into traffic. Oh, it's an offensive foul.
It's great defense there, just laced.
Wow, after all of that, Angelica Suffren says, never.
The game is all about runs and being able to stop those runs. When the team gets momentum, you got to be able to put a stop to it. And right now, the Lynx had the momentum for the entirety of that second half.
They really set the tone early in the third quarter, the time, but it gave the Lynx, I think, a little bit of momentum as they headed into the locker room, and they seized that momentum starting in the third.
Yeah, I difficult to stay mentally in it, so you have to be able to get over that barrier and make every possession count.
So Christie. Clark's just a couple assists, a couple rebounds shy of a triple-double. Here's Fag Bentley from the corner. Uhas pulls down the rebound. And there is a couple second differential between shot clock and game clock. But this battle-tested Lynx team going to prevail after their lead was trimmed all the way down to 1. It is the Lynx who earned their 25th win of the season. And in a matchup of the two hottest teams here out of the Olympic break, the Fever are 7-2.
F51 lại cành đấy. Kích đấy, kích đâu kích chạy về và 93 tôi đã có y tá tôi chạy rồi để tôi khai thác áo quý nên dừng ở luôn.
Cảm thấy tôn lên.
Đúng rồi.
Ghen
kinh ghê.
Nguyên Thái ở Nguyên là quả Windows với
Cậu lên cơm ạ.
Cháu lấy bát nước của
ở
mình.
đây
Còn nghe bát cơm đấy. Ngồi ăn bát cơm.
Ăn rồi.
Uống rượu đây ngay một cốc đấy.
Rồi.
làm một tí nữa anh lấy chia dê cho nó dẻo tay.
Về đây bắt
Đây,
Về
ăn
ngon
đấy.
đấy.
Có bát dưới.
Anh ở bên đây à?
Anh ở Hòa Bình biển 28 chứ không phải biển 35.